Angeline, good morning. Shooting star across the night. Most beautiful girl I've seen in all my life. Every second spent with you, it's like a day that starts brand new. Girl, I'm so amazed at all of the time. Yes, I wanna build my whole world around. So I promise you, yeah. Girl, you are my sunshine, don't you? Yeah, I want me. Already, I love you forever. Yeah, I want me. All about me. Already, I love you forever. I hear music in your words, and in the way you call my name. When you're by my side, I can't do anything. You're my best friend, you're my lover. Without you, no one else would do. You think and did I know it, make it true. Yes, I wanna build my whole world around you. So I promise you forever and always. Girl, you are my sunshine, baby. Yeah, I want me. All about me. Already alive. See, I will love you forever. Yeah, I want me. My baby, you are my sunshine. I love you, my essence. So I like you. You are my sunshine. My love, my essence. My sugar, my honey, my lover, I will love you forever. My baby, my lover, and my best friend, I will love you forever. There's no woman I won't do, I will love you forever. I promise to always love you, baby, I will love you forever. I will love you forevermore. Ever and ever and evermore. I will love you forever. 'Cause you are my baby, my sunshine. I will love you forever. And when there's nothing more to say, I will love you forever. Ever and ever and ever. Like an angel in the morning, shooting star across the night. The most beautiful girl I've seen in all my life. Every second spent with you, it's like a thing that's brand new. And I'm so amazed at all of the time. Yes, I want to build my whole world around. So I promise you my eyes will always girl, you shine me. Yeah, I want me. Love you forever. Yeah, I want me. All about me. Already alive. I will love you forever. I hear music, hear your words, and even when you call my name, when you're by my side, I can't do anything. You're my best friend, you're my lover. Without you, no one else would do. You think it did, I know we'll make it true. Yes, I wanna build my whole world around you. So I promise you forever and for always. Girl, you are my sunshine, baby. Be I will be all over me. Forever your life. See, I will love you forever. Be I will be all over me. Forever your life. I will love you forever. My baby, you are my sunshine. I love you, my essence. There's no one like you. My baby, you are my sunshine. I love you, my essence. There's no one like you. You are me. Already alive. See, I will love you forever. My sugar, my honey, my lover, I will love you forever. My baby, my lover, and my best friend, I will love you forever. I place no woman above you, I will love you forever. I promise to always love you, baby, I will love you forever. And there's no one other girl to love, I will love you forevermore. Ever and ever and evermore, I will love you forever. 'Cause you are my baby, my sunshine, I will love you forever. And when there's nothing more to say, I will love you forever. All right, good evening. We'll be starting right away because of time while others join. Today we are looking at the purpose of marriage. The purpose of marriage as we wind down this series, the purpose of marriage. As youth of this generation, you're faced with the great challenge of choosing a life partner. Many have followed practices and not principles. And this has led to a situation where we have high rate of divorce and also paternity fraud. High rate of divorce and paternity fraud in marriages, and both which we looked at last week. So the goal of this program is to help everyone that will be listening today and in future to get it right in this critical area of their lives. You will hear some uncommon ideas about marriage in this series, but please note these are based on principles. The principles rather are based on statistics, they are based on science and even on scriptures. Listen with open mind, and you can also go back to check some of those thoughts just to be sure those things are so. So this evening, the question I'll be asking is, why am I getting married? Or why am I getting married? Then we also look at the description, the job description of the husband. The job description of the husband. Why am I getting married? You know, someone said, as a lady, if a guy come to you and said, I like you, I would like to marry you. He said, ask him why. Why do you want to marry me? Out of all the women you have met in your life, why is it me you are choosing? Why do you want to marry me? And he said sometimes you realize those guys don't have a reason why. Because they are marrying because it's time to marry. They are not marrying because they understand what it means, the implication, what they must know and learn. They are marrying because it is time to get married. They are old enough to be married. So the idea is about the fact that they are old enough to be married, not because they really are ready for marriage or they even understand what marriage is all about. It is important to know that there is not called marital problem. There's nothing called marital problem. There's no such thing as marital problem. But rather, we only have ignorant couples. There's no such thing as marital problem. We only have ignorant couples. They are ignorant of themselves. They are ignorant who they have become. Many people have been altered by pain, by pressure, and by people around them. And they are now having pseudo personality. They don't even know themselves or understand themselves. This can make an extrovert to become an introvert because they have been beaten and battered as they grow up, particularly by their parents. Checking yourself before age 5. You have the original you. And the personality you manifested then is your real you. This ignorance of self is what will distort your knowledge on the kind of person that you really should marry. So don't give yourself out in marriage until you have discovered your real you. So you don't end up marrying the wrong person. Because by the time you get married, your real you will emerge. This ignorance of self is what distorts marriage, distort your knowledge on the kind of person you should marry. So don't give yourself in marriage until you discover yourself. Many couples are ignorant of their partners, of their spouse, who he or she have become as they grow up. Imagine that the husband and the wife are manifesting pseudo-personality. That means the two people coming together are not real. This can be disastrous. This is because when the real you start to show up, both of you will accuse each other of changing. My husband is changing. My wife is changing. Why are you accusing your husband or wife to be changed? Why are you saying they are changing? Why? Why are they changing? Why does it appear as if they are changing? The reason is because their real self is coming out. Now they are not under supervision of their parents. They are now on their own, married. The real person is coming out. So they are keeping each other of changing, and they will be expecting themselves to live up to some expectation that might not be practicable for the other party. Their ignorance of the purpose of marriage. When the purpose of marriage is not known, abuse of each other is inevitable. So you need to understand the proper definition of marriage in order to fulfill the purpose of marriage. Like I said earlier, and I love this definition by an author, he said marriage can be defined as coming together of a man and a woman from two families or two nations to build a new nation or a new family, and that this new nation or new family is to promote the best interest of all, that they meet, and whose culture we give our world rest. So they are promoting best interest of all in the world, and their culture will give our world rest. What is destroying many relationships has nothing to do with the couple most times, but rather is originating from the family they both came from. For example, if your father is a commander, if the father is a commander, for example, if the father is a commander and a lion in the home, then male children will most likely be like that in their own family when they are married. Either you like it or not, you are picking up traits from your dad, from your mom, either you like it or not. You are picking up traits from your dad and mom, either you like it or not. So there are things your father is doing right now or has done when you were growing up, when you were living with them, if you are no more living with them. There are things your mom were doing that has become part and parcel of you. So either you like it or not, they are remotely controlling you and influencing you. If your father is a lion, when he comes home, everybody must pack. You know, can you imagine a father come home? By the time you hear the knock, or you hear the voice, or you hear the car horn, everybody will rush. Why? The father is a lion of the tribe of the home. Everybody must fear him. I like the way someone put it. If as a father, your children are not vulnerable before you, they are afraid of you, they are afraid of you, that means there's no love in that home. There's no love. There's no love. If there is love, the children should be eager first to go and welcome their dad, not to go and pack. They should be eager to welcome the dad. Ah, daddy, welcome. Then daddy can say, ah, why is this place like that? Ah, daddy, we are sorry. Then they will go and arrange it. So they will first of all go and welcome daddy before they go and pack. But if they have to pack and hide so that daddy will not even see them, there's no love in that home. There's no love in that home. So if you have experienced that in your own home, then you must make up your mind. If you have experienced that in your parents' home, rather, then you make up your mind that that will not happen in your own home. That will not happen in your own home. When a man married a woman, because he needs someone to take care of the home, he's not marrying a wife, he's marrying a home keeper. He's marrying a home keeper. And there are people today marrying a home keeper. So if the goal is for home keeping, when the wife is not doing it, is angry, is fighting, is sad, is why? He has a mindset, my wife is the home keeper. He must take care of everything in the home. Clean everywhere, wash everywhere. I mean, just take care of the house because the wife is a home keeper, not a wife. So no matter what the wife do, if the home front is not clean, prim and proper, the wife is not doing enough or is not doing well, no matter what the wife do. Because our definition or the purpose of marrying the lady is to take care of the home. Now, if a man marries a woman because he needs someone to take care of his kids, he's not marrying a wife, he's marrying a nanny. He's marrying a nanny. And because he is marrying a nanny, the only thing the wife will do that is valuable is taking care of the children. Even if the wife is sick, even if the wife is unable to take care of herself, even if the wife is looking shabby, unkept, as long as the wife is taking care of the kids, he's okay. He doesn't care about what happened to the wife. He only cares about what happened to the child because he married the wife to take care of the kids. So the wife is pretty much a nanny. He's not looking for a wife. He's looking for a nanny. And these things are very subconscious. 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 Because these things are subconscious, the guy is not even aware. But somehow, somewhere in his mind, when he's drawing up the criteria or the characteristics or the thing that must characterize whoever she or she wants to marry, the person must be a nanny. He's not saying that overtly, he's saying it covertly. Even unknowing to himself. If a man marry a woman, because he needs someone to take care of his meal, he needs someone to take care of his meal. He's not marrying a wife, he's marrying a chef. He's looking for a chef or a cooker. Because it shouldn't matter where the food is coming from. It's being made by a chef, it's being bought at eatery, it doesn't matter. What is important is that there is food in the home. But if your own definition is that my wife must be the one to make my meal, I'm sorry, you are not looking for a wife. You need a home keeper. Sorry, you need a cook. You need a cook. You need a cook or a chef. You need a cook or a chef. We need a cook or a chef. This is very, very important. This is extremely important. Now, you know why this conversation today is so important is this. Many people are not even aware. So, a lady can ask the guy, what would be the most important characteristic you want to see in your wife? And the wife can say, my wife must be able to take care of my child, though. Oh, my wife must be able to cook very well, though. Oh, my wife must be able to take care of the house, though. Those are traits to reveal to you as a lady that this man is not looking for a wife. Oh. Rather than saying, my wife must be a very caring, loving, and valuable partner, available for me in time of need. Someone I can share my heart with, discuss with, someone that can bear my body. That's a partner, that's a wife. But you see those other things, washing, cleaning, taking care of the home, cooking food, they are just accessories. Because really, you need a partner. You need someone you can discuss with, relate with, and you can share burden with. That's who you need. So if that's not what the guy is talking about, but he's talking about the accessories, he doesn't need a partner who is a wife. Look at this one. When a man marries a woman because he needs someone to give back to his children, he doesn't need a wife, he needs a baby factory. He needs a baby factory. He needs someone, so that kind of person, if there is a delay in childbearing, even if he's the one having low sperm count, or is the one having a problem with the sperm is releasing, everything will be transferred to the wife. And he will fight the wife to the last. Why? Because, in fact, this kind of person can divorce. If someone is marrying because of taking care of the home, he can divorce the wife because the house is dirty. If someone is married because he needs someone to cook his food, he can divorce the wife because the wife does not know how to cook, or the wife or someone else is cooking the food, or he doesn't like the way the wife cooks. If someone is married because he needs someone to take care of his baby, of his children, he can divorce the wife because the wife is not able to take care of the children very well. If he's married because he needs someone to give back to his children, he can divorce the wife because the wife is unable to give back. He can. But look at the wife. When a woman marries a man because he needs someone to take care of his need, of her need rather, And you see a lot of this online. I cannot go and come and suffer. I cannot go and come. Nobody is saying ladies should go and suffer. I'm an advocate of a guy getting married only after he himself can take care of himself +2. But you know, things do happen in relationship. The guy can lose his job. What happened in that time? So when a man marry a woman because he needs someone to take care of his meal, he's not marrying a wife. He is not marrying a wife. He is not marrying a wife. He's marrying a chef. But if the wife is marrying because he wants someone to take care of his need, of her need rather, she's not marrying a husband. She doesn't need a husband. She needs a sponsor. She needs a sponsor, or she needs an ATM. And let me tell you, a lot of ladies actually marry ATM. ATM. And some ladies, some guys, they marry the lady because of the way she looks. They want someone they can go out with that look beautiful because of her face, because of her chest or breast, because of her backside, because of her legs, because of her complexion. That's why they marry. That person is not marrying a wife, he's marrying a container. And some ladies also marry, and oh, he must smell nice, good shoe, six-pack, he must be tall, dark, and handsome. TDH. Tall, dark, and handsome. You are just marrying container. So, like I said earlier, that there's nothing like a problematic marriage. You only have ignorant couples. There's nothing like a problematic marriage. You only have ignorant couples. Just the way there's nothing like a stubborn child, there are only ignorant parents. There's nothing like a stubborn child, there are only ignorant parents. There's nothing like I married the wrong spouse. There are only faulty decision-making systems. There's nothing like I married the wrong spouse. There are only faulty decision-making systems. Faulty decision-making system. There's nothing like a stubborn spouse. There are only faulty decision-making systems. There are only faulty decision-making systems. There are only faulty decision-making systems. You think you marry wrong? That means you don't know how to take decision. Stubborn child? No. Ignorant parent? Nothing like stubborn child. Oh, problematic marriage? No. Ignorant couple. Ignorant couple. You know, and when you accept this, immediately you accept this, that look, this was based on my ignorance, or based on my based on what I don't know. When you know you are ignorant, what that means is I need to go and learn. Basically, go and learn. Go and learn. If you know what marriage is about, you don't want to allow argument in your marriage. Because when you argue, everybody wants to win a case. If you are wise, you just say your wife, let's change the topic. You don't need to argue. Change the topic. Talk about something else more interesting. And look for better time to discuss that issue. Don't try to win the argument, but lose the marriage. You know, I keep repeating this. My mentor said it took him 7 years, 7 or 9 years of marriage before he know the 3 rules of a happy marriage. 3 rules. Number 1, do what your wife wants. Rule number 2, do what your wife wants. Rule number 3, don't forget rule number 1 and rule number 2. As long as it is not destiny sensitive, do what your wife wants. And he says, since he mastered that rule, No argument again. No fight, no rancor, no animosity. Just do what your wife wants, period. Period. That means you are a yes man. You are a yes man. When you are a yes man, the day you say no, your wife will understand because you are always saying yes. Your no becomes very powerful. But if you are always saying no, your yes is irrelevant. If you are always saying no, your yes becomes irrelevant. But if you are always saying yes to her demands, to her requests, your no becomes very, very powerful. Your no becomes very, very powerful. For some men, they are always saying no, they don't say yes. So many couples are ignorant about marriage building techniques. Marriage building techniques. They are ignorant of the real enemy of the marriage. The real enemy of the marriage is the enemy within. The real enemy of the marriage is the enemy within. This is the self-sabotaging pattern that have been installed in you growing up. To be ignorant is to ignore what you need to know and do in order to make your marriage work. To be ignorant is to ignore what you need to know and do to make your marriage work. And assume that you are going to be a good wife or a good husband or a great marriage by default. Let me tell you, you will never have a good wife. You will never have a good marriage by default. You will never be a good husband by default. You will never be a good wife by default. It will not happen. It will not happen. It will be by design. It will be by deliberate effort. By design. So you must design it. You must be deliberate about it. It is not going to be by default. It is not going to be by default. No marriage is built by default. No marriage is built by default or by hope. No marriage is built by hope. No marriage is built by assumption. Every successful marriage is built by design, based on the right principles, knowledge, and strategy. Based on the right principle, knowledge, and strategy. The reason you are marrying should be to achieve a great vision that is bigger than you, both of you. The reason you are marrying should be to achieve a great vision bigger than both of you. And most importantly, the vision should benefit humanity. You shouldn't marry because you want to give out half kids. You shouldn't marry because you need someone to take care of your need. You shouldn't marry because you need someone to take care of your house. So before I round up today, what is the job description of a husband? Job description of a husband. A husband is called bridegroom. Bridegroom. That means he has the responsibility to groom the bride, to groom the wife, to make her better. He is to do all he can to make her become a better version of herself and become a hero. That means when you marry her, 5 years from now, she should be at a higher level, a bigger level, a greater level. She should be doing better than she was in terms of her worldview, her lifestyle, her quality of life, education-wise, I think everything. She should be better. You know, there are some men, they are so ignorant. They are so ignorant. There are some men, they are so ignorant. They are intimidated by the success of their wife. They are intimidated by the success of their wife. because they don't believe two have become one. If indeed two have become one, then whatever your wife achieves, you benefit from it. But when you are insecure, when you are ignorant, you see your wife's achievements as a threat. You see your wife's achievement as a threat. Unfortunately, because many men do not even understand the purpose of a marriage, let alone their job description in that marriage. They turn their wife into a cook. They turn their wife into a homekeeper. They turn their wife into a nanny. They turn their wife into a baby factory. Please note that this is not why you are called a husband. To be husband is to be a groomer. Husband is from husbandry. What does husband mean? Husbandry means to cultivate, to take care of, to breed animal, or to grow crop. To become a groomer, you need to be ready to do the following. Number one, doing the house chore with your wife, including cleaning and cooking. If you don't have the time to do it, pay someone to do it. If you are busy, that means you are making money. Pay someone to do it. To be a groomer, you must constantly give her consistent affection. Appreciate her. Speak good about her. Appreciate the way she looks. Be conscious of how she looks. There is a particular language I use for my wife when she finished dressing. There is a way. There was a day I was calling my wife that name, and my son was saying it. Constantly give consistent affection. Throw banter and play with your wife. You should jest. To be a groomer, you have to sacrifice for your wife. If she needs to attend courses while you stay back at home to take care of the kids, or she's online attending a training and you're taking care of the children. To be a groomer, you listen to your wife, not to cut her short or be distracted on your phone or by news while she's talking. To be a groomer, you need to study her, to know her needs, and give her pleasant surprises. Buy stuff for her without she asking for it. To be a groomer, your wife must become best of herself. As a groomer, you must groom your wife to become best of herself. Not the best you want, but the best of herself. Not the best you want, but the best of who she wants to become. To be a groomer, you must introduce your wife wherever you go with her. People must know she's your wife. If you're a groomer, you must feel comfortable and secure, even when your wife is having a discussion with other men. Even when your wife is having a discussion with other men, you must be comfortable and secure. To be a groomer, you must be close to your wife enough to be able to play together as friends. To be a groomer, you must be close enough to your wife to be together as friends. Do not feel disrespected when she confronts you with what you are doing that is wrong. And my wife do this to me a lot. Sometimes I will do some things and they say, no, why are you doing this now? A good example is she doesn't like me wearing shorts in the house. She doesn't like it. Sometimes when I'm going downstairs, maybe to go and repack the car or something. So I noticed she complained about it. So I have to ensure I wear a quarter trouser or something. If I can't wear a trouser, something longer. I don't see anything wrong with it. She feels it's wrong. And I can't argue. It doesn't take me anything
to wear what she wants. In fact, she actually bought for me what she wants me to wear. Anyway, she bought it for me. What she wants me to wear. So I have what to wear, and so I wear it rather than do what she doesn't like. I mean, if your wife says she doesn't like something and you keep doing it, it's actually a sign that you really don't love her. I mean, she doesn't like, she said, this is not right. So you shouldn't be doing it. If you now want to be, I'm the man, that's so unfair. Because you don't own yourself again. When you are married, you don't own yourself again. She owns you, you own her. She owns you, you own her. That means both of you should be free to complain about what you don't like about each other. So, do not feel disrespected if your wife feels you have done something wrong, and she should be free to tell you about it. If you're a groomer, you respect your wife, and you don't compare her with other women or with your mom or with your sister. My sister will do it this way, and my wife will, my mother will do it this way, or my ex-girlfriend will do it this way. Can you imagine comparing your wife to your ex-girlfriend? You can't be. If you're a groomer, if there's a quality you see somewhere, let me give you an example. If there's something I want my wife to do, let me give it. There's a way I like my wife to cook a particular soup. You know what I did? I found a video online and show her. And guess what? She used that video to learn what I want, and she did it. She used the video to learn and did it. Rather than complaining and compare. Why will you be complaining and comparing? It doesn't make sense. How can you help her achieve that thing you want? Support her rather than complaining, and you're not doing anything to help her out. If you're a groomer, you seek for a view on issues that affect you and her. She becomes your accountability partner. You should be accountable to her. Now, when you ask most people why they want to get married, their answers are often about themselves, not about the person they want to get married to. I'm getting married because I want this, I want this, I want this, I want that, I want this. The answer is about me, myself, and I, not about the person that getting married to. So, a man gets married to a woman because he wants a baby. But he's not concerned about the vision, the goal, the plan of our spouse. He's not concerned. He wants a baby. The spouse is in school, or the spouse wants to do a master's, or the spouse wants to do a training. And if she gets pregnant now and have a baby, it will delay it, and it will be good for the wife to do it now. And they can always have baby later now. No, it must be now. So the lady must sacrifice her career because he wants a baby. They cannot agree on the way forward. What is the best for the family at this time? After all, if this lady do this course, she might get a better job, she might earn more, and you can both take care of that child. But you want the child now. Later, you don't have enough money to take care of the child. The fact that the man is not concerned about the vision, goal, and plan of her spouse is creating a lot of crisis in marriages, because the lady will be frustrated and be unfulfilled, and she might become depressed, sad, because they are a shadow of who they want to be. So the lady is sad, she's unhappy, she is depressed because she is a shadow of who she wants to be. She's not who she wants to be. This man has locked in a career. This is creating a lot of crisis in marriage, and some ladies are just frustrated. They have dreams, they have visions of the kind of life they want to live, the kind of career they want to build. Now, just because you say you are married, you kill your vision, kill your career, kill your dream. You can't even make progress again, just because you say you're married. And this same man might promise you heaven and hell before you get married. Oh, no worry, you will do it. No, now you're married. He say, no. You need to take care of my kid. You need to take care of my kid. It's all about themselves. Not caring about the progress of the lady. To groom your wife, you need to groom yourself. You know why a lot of guys are not a bridegroom? Because they themselves have not groomed themselves. It's only he that is where that can donate blood. You can't give what you don't have. You must groom yourself into a selfless and secured man who is not intimidated by other people's achievements. Who is not intimidated by other people's achievements. This means you understand your purpose and live your life based on this. While you also allow others to live their life and are grateful to God for whom they have become and ready to provide support for them when needed. As a matter of fact, if you have a low self-esteem, if you have a sense of insecurity as a man, if you feel intimidated by the success of others or the greatness of your wife, you cannot be a successful husband. You cannot be a successful husband. You know, that's why someone like Ibukwan Oshika, who was the first female chairman of bank in Nigeria, first bank for that matter, every time she's talking, she's always thanking her husband. Because she's a billionaire. The husband is also very comfortable, but she's a lot richer than the husband. And she said, look, if you get it wrong in the area of marriage, you miss it in life. But for the husband she married, she doesn't even know how she should have coped. She's so busy. She has a very big business to run, but she also has a family to keep. But the husband is so understanding, and husband give her all the necessary support. A wise husband knows this woman is making a lot of money. The woman is not, she's not going home and abusing or accusing the husband. Also is very busy. The husband is very comfortable. Maybe the husband is a millionaire, but the wife is a billionaire. So the wife is very rich, but the husband is very comfortable. He can afford anything he wants, travel abroad. But the husband is it's not that the husband is lazy. So the husband is supporting the wife. He's not feeling intimidated. A lot of guys are very, 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 very insecure. Too much insecurity. You know, this is so important. This is very, very important. So when you want to marry as a lady, try to be sure how secure is your husband or the guy. Tell her about your ambition and see if he's going to support it or he's going to feel intimidated by it. And get a commitment on the kind of support she will give you. This is so important. Ladies, you know, when people come to me, you know, there was one person I was supposed to see last week, maybe I'll see them tomorrow. They're about to get married in November. And I told the guy, I would like to see you and the lady. And one of the things one thing I like talking about whenever I meet young couple that want to get married is this topic of today, the reason. Because if you guys get the reason right, most likely you'll be able to sort out other issues. If you get the purpose right. As a matter of fact, if a man has low self-esteem, a sense of insecurity, and feel intimidated by the success and greatness of others, of the wife, cannot be a good husband. Also, you need to know that what is most important to your spouse and support her or him to do it. Many made their wife cook. They made their wife to take care of the home. They made their wife to give us. They made their wife to do all these things, but they never asked them, what exactly do you want to do with your life? Because what many people don't understand is these children you are talking about will leave you very soon. So what become of this lady? If she's unable to build her career, when these children are gone, what will happen to her? After 20 years after 10, 15 years of taking care of children, and children are now going to higher institution, they are now leaving the home, then she will now begin to start her career. Or is that what she will be doing? It is very selfish and even disrespectful to the originality and identity of the lady to marry a human being and try to fit her into what you want without even thinking about what he or she wants. As a good bridegroom, you need to accept the person of your wife and do not seek to mold her to fit into what you want or into someone else that you want, but rather you should fit her into what she wants. What does she want? And these are things should have been discussed before marriage anyway, so both agree about this issue. This is why you should not marry someone you cannot respect as a lady, someone you cannot fit into their reality. You can't respect. Marry someone you yourself respect. Enlist a professional who can help you in your area of weakness, the area you do not have expertise. For example, if the lady does not have fashion sense and you have teacher, if the guy does not have fashion sense and you have teacher teaching, or you get someone to assist, give her a sense of belonging, allow her to take the lead in the area of her expertise, while you take the lead in your area of expertise, particularly in finance. You know, some ladies, their wife are very good in finance. Their wife is maybe the wife is an accountant or a finance person, and the wife is, how can you have a wife? Your wife is a chartered accountant, or your wife is a CFO in an organization. When it comes to decision of money in the home, she doesn't have a say. But she is helping big organizations to run their financing, but she doesn't have a say in the home. Can you imagine? It's like having an asset and throwing away the asset. If she's a finance expert at work, let her be the one to handle the finance in the family and respect and work with her recommendation. Take her feedback. Make a conscious effort to adjust in the area of threat. If you have a difficult spouse that appears not to be groomable, because it can happen, then identify her mumu button. Identify her mumu button, otherwise soft spot. Find what motivates her and deploy it to avoid any resistance. If you as a man, you are a groom, you find out this lady is not groomable. She just doesn't want you to do what you think she should do. Find her mumu button. Look for a soft spot. Try to do what motivates her, what makes her happy, so you can reduce the resistance to get her to do what she needs to do, which is good for the family. The impediment to becoming grooming, to become effective groom, include low self-esteem, ignorance, personal pain. The impediment to effective grooming include low self-esteem, ignorance, personal pain, disempowering belief, and lack of exposure and rigidity. If your spouse have this, help her. If your spouse needs a therapy, get a therapy to help her. Because if she becomes better, you become better. And at the end of the day, you have a happy and healthy home. All right, I've come to the end of the session today. Let me hear from you. Oh, only 3 of us are around today. Let me hear from you. Kalu, all business. Good evening. Hello, David. Okay, David is busy. Let me listen to Nii. Hello, Nii. Good evening.
Yes, hello, good evening, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
I know you are quarter to go. This must have helped.
Yes. It does actually help. Does actually help. Well, for me, it's more like a reminder and a few other points that needs to be refreshed upon, like that aspect. When you said some things are actually picked from your parents directly or indirectly, I
Mm,
actually agree with that. But I, I've never been so conscious of that aspect,
mm,
staying with someone even till uh the stage of being married, even after marriage, some people still live in that kind of
mhm,
lifestyle,
mhm,
not knowing the root cause or to why they act the way they act or they
mhm.
do things the way they do. Yeah, I think that is the main thing for me in this conversation. For me, I'm a very disciplined person. Not because my father is so disciplined, but my mom is very disciplined.
Mm.
My mom is a very disciplined person. Sometimes she herself sometimes will wonder. There was a day she asked me, "Do I laugh at workplace?" And I laughed. So yes, because I come home from work. There was a time we were staying together. I come home from work and I just go inside my. I don't have time to be gisting, talking to people. I feel those are just waste of time than doing something more productive. For I realize over time anyway that in the long run you will have to have those chats time that you
Very
feel
important.
that they are
Very important.
non-productive, especially with your spouse,
Yes.
and more importantly with the children. By the time they start coming on board, those
Yes.
chat time must be there. And when best is it for someone to learn to understand that this attitude must actually go, even though it has been part of you. You must consciously leave to what let go of those attitudes, and this is the best time anyway.
Yes. Before
And
you get married,
sometimes,
better you do it before you get married.
yeah, it's best you see it before you get married. I think the last session I attended, I said something, and that has been my mirror for preparation towards this aspect of life, because this is not an aspect you want to miss.
Yes.
Your leg, you don't want to make mistake. You don't want to make a wrong decision. It's either you are ready or you're not ready.
Yeah.
And financial readiness is not just it,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and exposure to work life is not just it, it's part of it. There are a lot of things that mix it up. And that's why for me, the whole series for this particular discussion, I'm still gonna have time to download, listen afresh. And I think for every couple, I wish there is already finished, and anybody I'm seeing getting married,
Please send it to
once
them. Please send it to
the
them.
session is done, so I will not want them to go through the stress. Me, I will download it and send it as an as an electronic copy to them, so they will not give the excuse of I don't have data, I have not done this. Me, that's it will be part of the marriage gift I'll be giving to people that I know will be getting married, and I will be getting into marriage after this session has been concluded. So for me, I think it's something that must be listened to. And one of the things I try to do as much as possible, especially in this session, particularly this one, I have a friend who has been married for 4 years, and there was a particular incident, and I felt so bad. I
Wow.
was I was gr- I was gripped in my to my, to my bone marrow. Like, can you
What happened?
this fault? You okay? Like for instance, the wife got an opportunity to work in an industry. They're
Okay.
going to be paying her higher than what she is earning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what she is earning currently.
Mm-hmm.
And she only looked at the current condition of things and ignore the offer.
Why?
And I said, why didn't I can't remember the exact reason he explained, but I knew
Who ignored the offer? The
I
guy.
understand, sir.
Who ignored the offer? The guy.
The lady, the lady.
What?
So
He
I
ignored the
was
offer.
so
Why?
I can't remember the exact point, but it's a flimsy. It's just more like an excuse. It's purely excuse. It's an act of exposure. Um, I think one of them is a distance from the house to the location. She currently has a job where she only needs to take Marwa to the
No, now
help
if
by
the
side.
job is going to pay for the transport, why not?
The job is not going to do more than pay for the transportation, take care of their health insurance and other needs. That's why it was so painful for me. I took it up. Like, why didn't you bring me up into that conversation with you guys? At least I'm familiar and she respect me to an extent. Maybe I will make her reason. Well, for me, I told him later on that well, the deed has been done, so there's nothing I can do
The
anymore.
husband did
But
not do well. Now. The
the
husband should have encouraged you. And why? What? The husband must be. I suspect the husband is the one not allowing her. Because if the husband can convince, is the
no,
amount going to make her
no,
end
sir,
than the husband?
no,
And so
no,
why is the
it's
husband
not
not
the
allowing her?
husband. Even the husband was the
Hello? Hello? I can't hear you again.
the husband was angry and was like, felt, can you
Oh,
hear me, sir?
the husband was angry. I mean, the husband wanted her to do it.
Yes, he wanted her to pick the job, but she gave the excuse for not picking the job. That's how I got to know about the situation. But then I'm saying this because for me, well, I don't know whether it's because it's my own nature anyway to help people become a better version, even become better than me myself. So it's what I do every time. Even at Create Initiative is what I do. I look out for how I can help people to become better. So I've come across people severally that I just want to help them become better because I can see that you better you. And if I can do that outside, how much more with someone you are intending to stay with forever and then live together forever with. So I think one of the key points there is that if your spouse is in level A as at the time when you are in courtship, and during marriage is still at level A, then it's not the fault of any other person than the partner. It's the partner's fault. So if your spouse dresses down and does not know fashion, does not understand fashion, it's the fault of the partner. If the spouse is not growing in terms of academics, in terms of career, in terms of spiritual life, in any area,
She's
is
the
the
husband.
partner's fault.
Yeah.
So everyone
He's the
must
groomer.
give into, yeah, you groom her, and as much as that you're grooming her, you also groom yourself to, you develop yourself to become a better person, because your relevancy is always on what you have to offer. Like you always say, it's only someone who is healthy that can donate blood.
Yeah.
So for me anyway, it's a must listen to program for everyone that has been married or that will get married in the nearest future. So thank you very much, sir, for
Thank
this
you. Thank you
nice
very much.
session.
Carlo, are you ready now?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, fine. Thank you, sir. Oh, well, sir, thanks so much. I think every day is already loaded with a new thing. Well, sir, my take tonight is that I think you have actually, sir, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I think you've actually changed my conception about my, let me say, my kind of list, like what I have in list of the kind of wife I want, or what will qualify the kind of partner I want. Actually, I was afraid that getting someone maybe who makes more money or who is kind of do better than I do will be a problem for me. In the side of, I don't want to whereby maybe because you're making more money or you're doing better in your career than I do, then that becomes a problem for you to listen to me in that sense, or to respect me as a man in that sense. So that has been the problem for me because like just like what we have been saying since in my own family now, when we started the business, according to like how I saw the series, my parents have been doing well, but my dad is like a god of the business, but my mom like put more energy. She like she like she's the main risk taker of the business, and she brings more to the table in the business. So I noticed it got to a point by my dad said, okay, no problem. You take care of all these things. Why my work is that anything missing in this place, I will replace. Like kind of stocking goods. So when she took up the sales, like she starts selling in the office, she's the one taking care of all the sales, the customers, they are coming to her. We have been doing like times 20 better than how we have been doing before. So, it now occurred to me that sometimes if you don't actually see that energy in them coming, like if you are blind, you're not seeing that these people, if you allow them to use that energy or this thing they have in them,
To be to your
you cannot see the
advantage.
best of them. Yes. Even till today, I won't lie to you, when we bought our first family car, my dad is a kind of he's very afraid to buy things. Like when he hear the money, he will give up immediately. But mommy is like, like my mom now, when she hears, okay, this thing is 10 million. Okay, we'll pay you next week. If he says next week, you'll be wondering like, where do you want to get 10 million from? And she will pay by next week. And the business will look slow. But we need some time, she will still fight for us to come back to that same level again. So, it maybe start changing, like my conception start changing now that, okay, maybe I have to consider getting someone I even know more than I do, not just someone I know better than in that sense. Because I think when I get someone that knows more than I do, it's also for my own advantage in that sense. I think it will also add more value to me than believing that I need to get someone that I'm more advanced of, someone that can respect me. I don't think, well, based on this program, I don't think respect in that sense really is really aimed by what you have. Yes, you will add to the table, but even though it's making more than you do, but that is not really a signal of respect. I think if the understanding is there, and you guys are able to share out what you want and what the dislike and likes looks like, I think we are good to go. So I think this is one of the best programs I've ever listened to this year concerning the marriage stuff like that. I really adding value to me. You know, when you listen to it, you're like, thank God I will not make mistake of 10 years, mistake of 5 years. I can never change. Thank God we are changing them today against tomorrow. So thanks so much. I so much appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for joining, David. Toria.
Hello, good evening. Good
How are
evening,
you?
everyone. I'm fine, sir. Thank you very much for today's session again, sir. For me, you actually ticked all the boxes for me because, I mean, even with the illustrations you gave, I was, I mean, I'm not talking about things that are random. I'm talking about stuff that are very personal to me, and you're just so like which is it illustration I could absolutely relate, and I could see what was missing, and I could actually trace back and say, this is the reason why this is like this and like that. So for me it's very, very practical. And then of course, just as you said, once the purpose of something is actually not known, I know it's like a cliche, but it's like the truth. Abuse is definitely
Inevitable.
inevitable because, I mean, to honestly, for me, like when it comes to being an husband, being a groomer, I mean, it's it's much bigger than we think. It's I don't I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to say. But if a man or an husband is actually able to understand this role in family, I understand that it is his major responsibility to groom his wife. I believe that everything begins to fall in line, everything begins to fall in place. Now, this fear and then this insecurity of if my wife is better than me, she would not respect me, she would not love me, she would disregard what I'm saying. And I'm like, truthfully, can we actually test these things? Because for me, although there are some scenarios where it seems like the lady just fails and thinks she's better, but for me, I feel every responsible woman who sees that her husband is giving so much, sacrificing so much to see that she becomes a better version of herself, will in turn, I don't know, it's no matter how wicked she is, or I don't know, or proud or whatever, she would in turn want to give this respect back to this man. I mean, this is like a pure show of love. Like right in your face, this guy is showing you practical love. Like, I mean, he's out there for you, giving you the support you need. And then one thing many to even understand is that it creates a ripple effect back to them. Like when a man actually sees that, okay, his wife is out there, she's outstanding amongst women, competing amongst men, they shouldn't feel insecure, because the the glory really, it goes back to them.
Yeah.
Because every woman will always want to accord, I mean, because every lady knows that without that support, really, they will be get to the point where they are. So when they give back the glory back to their husband, it lifts the guy up. Like, I mean, for me, okay, Ibuku Awoshika, for example, we know of her and everything. But yes, she's outstanding. I mean, the first chairman in banks and all of that. But I'm more interested in who her husband is, because I know that many ladies do not find their way up there. So that means, of course, there have been a very strong support system. I mean, she's a woman; she has a lot of responsibilities to deal with and everything, but she's still able to get out there. So, of course, we can tell that there is a strong support for her.
Yes.
So, for me, I'm more interested in how she got there than the fact that she's there. So that matters a lot. So, I mean, it's just so important for guys to remove this essence of ego, pride, insecurity, and everything, and begin to, help the women get to where they want to be. I mean, don't allow the vision where everybody was created for a purpose, for a reason. So you cannot just say because of your own goal, your personal belief, or the practices that you see around, you then show blind eye or two. I mean, some people when they enter into relationships, they give promises, just like you said, okay, we'll do this together, we'll do that. But then when they get married and all of that, they begin to kill the lady's vision. Because even the lady herself, the society has created a norm for her by which she's distracted. There is the pressure for her to give birth after getting married. Once the children come, nobody tells her how to really take care of these children. She's the one that actually gets to begin to, and she's losing focus already. So it's not left to the guy to actually let her know that, okay, yes, you have this responsibility, but don't forget your purpose. Don't forget why you are here. These children are going to leave you, and then it will be left with both of us. How far have you come? So I mean, for me, this session is just it. It's literally ticked to my voice. Thank you very much, sir, for the session.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. The favored one, you came late. Were you able to pick up anything?
Good evening, sir. Yeah, so sorry, I joined in really late. And I was only able to hear one or two things people had mentioned. But I'll just say that for me, I don't know. One of the things that I don't know whether I should ask as a question or this will come as a comment.
Okay.
Most times I think when the men probably are not matured enough to understand it. So I don't know, or matured enough to handle it. Because I see, even though we discuss this, I see it even amongst believers. They have their wives and they think their wives are probably being used more by God. Let's even say even in the work or the things of God, or even in their normal fields. And rather than support, they become, maybe because of what they've heard or things they've heard about they become hostile, or they become unfair or treat them unfairly, so that they don't think of wanting to rise above that position or wanting to be better or make themselves better. It's difficult to identify, because one of the examples she gave now is where somebody has agreed with you and that person is working, is saying, okay, yes, you chase your dream, yes, you will do this, but inside the marriage, something happens and all of a sudden the person is no longer responding. How does somebody handle that? And what would somebody have seen that could tell that, oh, this person will not support you in your vision in the future? Is there a way? I'm probably saying this for every other person, probably. Is there a way that somebody will be able to identify this sign ahead of time? Because some people will say, yes, I believe in your dream, and it will look like the person is running with you with your dream when you're single. But when you then get married, the person probably becomes nonchalant or just probably indifferent about what you're doing.
All right. Now,
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I don't know if you allow me to say something to
Go
this
ahead.
question
Go ahead.
and then to what to
Go
I
ahead.
said to. Well, let me use your statement. If you are not feeling okay, you cannot donate blood. That is just the truth. If that person himself does not even have something he's pursuing, a dream to pursue, forget it. He cannot help you pursue your dream. If he's trying to do that, he's just trying to do that to get your attention. Once that attention is gotten, that is the end. I actually saw a Monzion movie that explained this to the for those that love movie. I can't point out the title of the movie right now. Now, the lady in question was into the music industry, the gospel music, and she was being called of God, not just being an entertainer in the gospel industry. Now, she found a guy who was led to her, but she did not took up that guy because at that point in time, the guy is not financially capable. And she went to the city and met another guy who was also interested in her. And in the long run, this guy wooed her and made her believe that he would support the ministry that she has been called into. After marriage, behold, it was a shock. You have to, just like you said, sir, take care of you are married so that you can take care of my children, so that I can take care of my home. That is for you to understand, okay, some people you must have your own calling. Your calling is not to come and just support your wife. Do you have one that you are even pursuing? So it's always best to meet in the place of what's it called? In your area of calling. How does it relate to one another's calling? There must be something that relates. There must be something that brings the two of you together. And once two of you are discussing that even in courtship, you can find a place of correlation. Okay, this is a place of common goal, common ground between the two of us. And that is something we must be conscious of. For Toria, she said something about guys are not, ladies should be, everyone should be. In fact, the whole exercise of this discussion is don't see a man as the one that should just look for your development alone. Develop yourself. And don't, as a guy, don't wait until you get a woman that is better than you or something. Find something, you must find a relevant, your relevancy is in the problem you solve as an individual. Your relevancy. So what are you going to add to this person's life? What is that person, what you yourself as a lady, what are you going to add to this man's life? Are you just going to be a baby mama giving birth, baby fatu, just like the way Osabamdele would say? You just want to be a baby fatu, give birth to children, and the man will just be coming home with money, financial support. So I think there must be something very key to what you are pursuing and what is also pursuing, and the common ground that drive both of you together to want to come together in partnership? Because you can, this is not a 15-year goal, this is a forever goal. That is the 1 point, and I mean 1, 2, 3 points I may want to add to this discussion, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Very important what you said. You know, what you said also lay credence to the reason why it is emphasized seriously that don't go into marriage if you have not discovered yourself. Both of you should have discovered yourself so you can find an area of overlap, how you can both support each other. If both of you discover yourself and you find the area of overlap you can support each other, it becomes a lot easier. These are the conversations. So then talking about having a spouse that will promise they will not do it during the marriage, you should have noticed that if it's a deceiver, this is essence of courtship, is to be able to know who is this person. You should have been able to notice that. And how do you notice if it's a deceiver? The question you ask to this person, if this person promised to do this and eventually he didn't do it, I mean, and the way you do it, you are not doing it like you want to see if this person, you want to catch him. No, it will be at an unguarded moment. So we are supposed to go and do this. Then eventually he call and say, we're not going to do this again. Now, first time, second time, third time, he keeps changing what he promised, not making every effort to keep to what he has said. That's a sign. It might be just that we're supposed to go out, then he said he won't be able to do it again, and it's not once, it's not twice, he's just fond of doing it. And for a reason you don't know. So there are some signs that you will have seen that tell you that, oh, it might be just about going out. Look, a person that is not faithful to just this small word that you are saying, he that is faithful in little is faithful in much. If he's not faithful in this little thing of going out and finding a way to avoid it because he doesn't want to spend money, will this person be able to support my vision in future? Those are signs already. So for a person that is observant, who asks questions, who try to ensure he find a way of testing the guy to know the kind of person he is and is conscious of that, and is doing it in a very subtle manner, not doing like you're testing him and it's obvious you want to see the way he will react, you will be able to know if this person is the person who will indeed support. Because like you said, it's possible the person say he will do it, but he did not. If you say he will do it, how is he doing it even before you got married? When you are discussing this matter, what are his contributions? What are his commitment? What is he saying? Is he saying, oh, no, let's wait, we'll do it. Okay, we can discuss that later now. Maybe when we get married. He's not interested in the detailed discussion about it, even before you got married, about, okay, this is what you want to do, this is how you go about it, this is where you support. No, that conversation is not going on before you get married. He's always defining it. Okay, yes, okay, I think it's good. Don't worry, I'll work with you, I'll support you. And you're trying to discuss the detail and it's not interested in the detail. Those are signs. A little, not being committed to little things is a sign that this guy might not be committed to this afterwards. So I feel if we really have detailed conversation and I'm observant, most likely I will know this person is not really, and then before you join, ask a question that when you're getting married, ask the guy, what is your best, what is the best quality you're looking for in your wife? You say, I want a wife that will take care of my kids. Now, when you're asking casually or jokingly, but you're trying to know the value of this guy. I know I want a wife that will take care of my kids. He's telling you already, you are going to be a nanny. Oh, no, I love the house to be clean, everything sparkling clean. So I need a wife that will be able to clean the house. He's telling you, he needs someone to do house chore, his house help, he's not looking for a wife. I need someone that will be able to give back to my baby. I want to see my baby. He's looking for baby factory. I think there are things the guy will say. He say it unguardedly. He didn't know what you are looking for. They're already telling you this person is not interested in. Instead of saying, I'm looking forward to a wife that is able to achieve his objective, that is able to add value to me, that is able to become so relevant to the achievement of my goal in the sense that it becomes a partner that can contribute to, I think, things that has to do with your growth and how your growth will add value to him. That's not what he's interested in. In himself, my children, my house, my wife, my home, my this, my that. Those are signs. Favor, I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Yes,
all right.
Answer, sir.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being able to join tonight. See you next week as we start discussing preparation. How do we prepare for marriage? Thank you very much, and bye for now.